What's up, guys? Welcome back to Reject Films, back with another review for you guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these Wild Eye reviews. I think my last one was a month ago or more. I'm not really sure. So kind of slacking on these, trying to get back to it. And I got a few more from this last batch of movies that they sent to me to review for you guys. And then hopefully get some more. These two, I just watched two that started with P. That's how I decided to do these ones, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to watch this first one, and then this one was underneath it in my stack. I was like, that looks pretty cool, so let's do that one too. And enjoyed both of these films for what they were and what they were trying to go for. But first one up is one I actually did request specifically from them. And this is the 10th anniversary edition of Plaguers. It looked really cool, and it had Steve Rells back in it, so decided to go ahead and go for it, and finally checked it out not too long ago. I think this only got like a 2.9 on IMDb, which I completely understand. Again, a lot of these straight-to-video horror flicks, you're not going to get a high rating. You're going to get like a 4 out of 10 at most on there. And I will say, at first, the opening scene kind of got my attention, and then it goes into a lot of talking and things like that. Let me do what I do on my random reviews and read the synopsis to you guys. When a band of space pirates hijack a fuel transport vessel bound for Earth, an alien virus known only as the Thanatos is accidentally released. The contagion mutates its victims, transforming them one after another into ravenous demonic creatures. Pirates and crew must join together and destroy the undead plaguers as the ship nears Earth, threatening to infect the entire planet. And that's exactly what it is. It's, the beginning is pretty boring. I honestly wanted to turn it off at a couple points. And then once they come across these pirates or whatever, these 4 women that they encounter and take aboard after they give them some kind of sob story of what happened to them, saying that everybody was killed but them, and they're doing like fake tears and stuff once they get them on board, and they feel bad for them and everything, and then they turn on the crew of the ship, and in doing so they release this orb thing, this green orb that I guess the pirates are the people in the ship already, because they're trying to transport this thing back to Earth or somewhere to get a bunch of money for it before they realize what it is, and it turns people into monsters. During a fight between the chicks they pick up and the crew aboard the ship, they find out that this thing is not good whatsoever, and whoever makes contact with it turns into these monsters. I'll say zombies, because that's what they're more like than anything. Actually, the director wanted to make like a zombie movie in space. If you guys check out the feature on here, the Scares in Space Behind the Scenes documentary, which is pretty entertaining. You do have some other stuff on here too. You have commentary track with Steve Rells back, producer and director commentary, and some cast and crew Q&A on here as well. And this is a 10th anniversary edition. The film came out, or this Blu-ray came out in 2008, and or no. Yeah, the movie came out in 2008, and the Blu-ray came out in 2019, so it's actually 11th anniversary, so not really sure. But anyway, so it is pretty much like a zombie space film. And you guys know when horror goes to space, it's never really a good thing. Jason X, The Leprechaun in space, multiple movies in space to do with horror, and they're never great. And neither was this. The storyline wasn't actually terrible. Acting was so bad, which is common with straight-to-video horror flicks. I'm not expecting great acting, but it was just a lot of dialogue there for a while, and it got really boring and just really bad. You could tell it's a sound stage or a set or whatever. The awesome special effects of seeing the ship with its thrusters and everything from outside the ship was just terrible. But I'm usually pretty easy on movies like this, and I did start enjoying it once you had a lot of the monsters in it, and everybody started turning and everything. The special effects were actually really good for the most part, aside from the alien creature towards the end. It was definitely, very noticeably a guy in a suit. But other than that, the creature effects, the skin and everything being all fucked up and everything actually looked pretty good. Like they put all their money into the special effects, and I was pretty entertained by that, and actually started enjoying it towards the end, towards the last act and everything, especially. And the very end, it wasn't really like a twist you didn't see coming or a surprise or whatever that you didn't think was going to happen. I mean, and it kind of just leaves the movie open to do whatever. I don't think there was ever a sequel or anything to it, but there definitely could have been. But yeah, like I say, the acting overall is whatever. Even Steve Carell's back character is just kind of there, which kind of made sense once you figure out what his character actually is. It's kind of fitting, I suppose. But I did enjoy this one overall. Like I say, just bear with it there towards the beginning when they're just talking and everything like that. And there is some things going on between certain characters. Not really like relationships, but there is... yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Gonna make these pretty quick. I don't want to give a lot away. These are pretty cheap releases again, guys, as I've said in last videos. I'm sure these are about $10 or so. I don't know how much this one is on Blu-ray. I'm sure there's a DVD of it, which is probably about $10. But the Blu-ray is probably $12, $13, something like that if I had to guess. It is region free as well. Again, the original movie is from 2008. Even says 2019 Wild Eye releasing on the bottom. So, not really sure about the 10th anniversary thing. But Plaguers. If you guys love zombie movies, I know, back in 2008, zombies were definitely the hottest thing on the market. So to do something back then to do with zombie-esque type stuff was definitely the right way to go. It even says, imagine zombies meeting the crew of Alien. They definitely got a lot of inspiration from Alien and The Thing and stuff like that. So, if you guys are huge zombie fans, again, definitely check this out. They're not exactly zombies, but they do turn like really fast, and they have fast movements and everything like that. There is a lot of backstabbing and fucking people over and things like that. So, definitely worth a watch. Move on to PickAxe. This is from 2019. Runs 87 minutes. Plaguers was 86 minutes. I think it was more. I think it was a lot shorter than that. Once actual movie time is only 75 minutes or something. But this one here, wow. I appreciate what it tried to do. Again, terrible acting. Some of the kills are pretty good. Let's read the synopsis. In 1982, the survivors of a series of brutal killings in a small town thought mass murderer Alex Black was dead and buried after the townspeople put an end to him, but teenagers experimenting with the occult awaken the monster from his grave, and he begins another rampage of terror with his favorite tool, a pickaxe. Only those who faced him before have any chance of stopping this undead monster once and for all. Stars horror icons Tiffany Shepis from Victor Crowley and Tales of Halloween, and Michael A. Baldwin from Phantasm Ravager. No features on here. There's just some trailers and scene selection and subtitles. But yeah, I did kind of like the killer in this one, at least. He is a really big guy, just kind of wears like a sack thing over his face, and carries that pickaxe, and so pretty brutal killer. Some brutal kills in this film. Some of them actually really cool, and some of them actually really bad. I don't know if I'll be able to find an image or anything to put up for you guys, but there is one scene that stuck out to me that there is a pickaxe to the stomach with the intestines coming out, and you can definitely tell the intestines were already on the outside of the body. There is no way that these are coming from the inside. It was pretty lame, but some of them were pretty cool, and some of them, again, were bad. The movie starts out with opening scene nudity. There is a lot of nudity throughout this film. So if you guys are a huge fan of seeing naked chicks, then definitely check this one out. Sometimes it seemed really weird that people are even naked at this time. And there is some full female frontal nudity as well. And this movie is supposed to take place in 1988. They definitely didn't have the 80s, you know, going on, but which I'm kind of glad, but it didn't feel like a movie from the 80s that was supposed to be set in the 80s. The only thing is a couple of the clothing here and there, especially when they're at this rock show that they're trying to get to. The clothing of the band and everything was like 80s, I guess. And there is no cell phones in here, which is a nice touch, because it's nice seeing movies before all this technology and people actually had to go and do shit and find people on their own and everything. So that's basically what this movie is you know, it starts out with a guy and a girl out in the woods. He's trying to find this like gauntlet or something from the killer, from the I forgot his name already, from this Alex Black character, to like get money for it or something, I guess. And the chick, I'll try to give everything away, but this is how the movie starts. So the chick pretty much turns on him and sacrifices him to bring back Alex Black with this thing that they find. I said gauntlet. I don't think it was gauntlet. It was like a necklace thing. Yeah. Anyway, and you do see her naked right off the bat. And anyway, so he comes back and he focuses on this group of friends that are trying to drive across the country to see this band. They encounter some hitchhikers. They pick them up as well. There is some partying scenes with all of them. I guess party is pretty lame, party in my opinion. But the one chick that they picked up, who is not attractive whatsoever, is just kind of sitting there topless, which I could go without on her. That's why I say there's some unnecessary nudity in here as well. There is some scenes with some, I guess, like hookers or whores or sluts, or they call themselves sluts because they're not doing it for money, they're doing it because they like it. And their pimp, or whatever you want to call him, when they stop in this little town, this diner area. And then you do come across this chick who is like the only survivor of the murders that took place the first time. And once the murders start taking place again, they kind of accuse her of being the culprit, and you do have some back and forth between her and like the main sheriff of this town. And then eventually, you know, they team up together to try to take him out. Not going to give everything away, but a lot of people die, for sure. And yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Definitely worth streaming if you guys want to check it out. Like I said, I think they put in a lot of the nudity because they knew how bad some of the other parts of the movie were, so they just wanted to throw something out there to keep people's attention and not turn the movie off. But as far as it being, it's hard to rate like movies that kind of know they're bad too. It definitely didn't take itself too serious. You know, as far as bad movies that go, I would give this probably like a 4 out of 10. Just for some of the nude scenes and everything. But, and like I said, a lot of the kills were actually decent. Not too bad. Yeah, so definitely worth checking out. If nothing else, stream it. Again, these run pretty cheap, so if it sounds like a movie that you would have a good time with, it's definitely one you'd throw on with some friends and stuff and kind of watch and make fun of or whatever. But I enjoyed it for what it was and what it was trying to do. So I've seen worse, for sure. So thank you again, Wild Eye, for sending these out. I ended up overall kind of having a good... For some reason, I started liking this one more as it went on, and I kind of just actually enjoyed it towards the end. I don't know why, but I just did. Must have caught me in the right mood or something. But thank you again, Wild Eye, for sending these out. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to watching the rest of the ones that were sent in that package as well. And hopefully continue to work with you guys and see what comes next. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody's been doing well, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, love, happiness to everybody, and bye.
Lunatic laughing right from the beginning all the way to the nut house. I'll be the opposite of winning, but right now I'm only here to kidnap women and children and turn the lights out.